Rio spoke with city leaders about how they are working to keep COVID numbers on a declining scale.
Mayor Wrdw teamed up with local organizations to hand out hand sanitizer and masks today. He's preached that washing your hands and wearing a mask is very important, and now he's trying to help the most vulnerable people in the community from getting COVID-19 and to show they're not forgotten about.
Well, I think it really extends our mission, which is to make sure that no one is invisible.
The Golden Harvest Food Bank in Augusta was just one of 5 locations handing out masks and hand sanitizer to the community today. Augusta National Golf Course donated 20,000 masks, and University Hospital supplied the hand sanitizer. Executive Director Amy Brightman thinks there's a strong message being sent to the community.
And I think when we can give freely, give them a mask, give them some protection, let them know we're thinking about them, that's really powerful.
And some of the people who showed up just for a mask say seeing them out there is setting an example for everyone.
It's very important for them to be out here, to help the community out. I appreciate it.
According to the CDC, homeless people are at a higher risk of contracting COVID-19. That's why Mayor Wrdw says he's out supporting his statement of wearing a mask, washing your hands, and watching your distance.
And this is a unique opportunity for us to do that in our city, while at the same time helping those who may not be able to have the same level of access to getting masks and or hand sanitizer.
But this all boils down to one thing.
At the end of the day, this is about saving lives. I say this wholeheartedly, that we have to be our brothers and sisters' keeper.
Mayor Davis says when every Augustan unites, it creates a stronger community and reminds us that we are all in this together. Reporting in Augusta, Rio, on your side.
Speaking of masks, parents taking care of children can look to the American Academy of Pediatrics for guidance. The experts say kids who are at least 2 can safely wear cloth masks, including the vast majority of kids with underlying health conditions. They suggest kids wear masks at home to get used to them and to protect higher-risk people in the house. Kids should only be tested if they have symptoms, came in close contact with an infected person, or are scheduled for elective surgeries.
To weather now, and Riley, we've been looking at those pictures all afternoon about what happened in Grovetown, but the National Weather Service is weighing in, saying last night's storm damage looks like a microburst, strong straight-line winds for the thunderstorm, and that lines up pretty much with what you saw on radar last night.
Exactly right, Richard, and from the damage that they were able to see, it was most likely just because they saw it generally laying in the same direction. It wasn't just kind of chaotic or laying in all different directions. So it was a tornado, a downburst event, very similar to what happened in Appling just last week. So with these summer storms, they can pop up very quickly and produce some strong wind gusts for a short amount of time, which is what happened out there yesterday. We have some strong storms in Bamberg and Barnwell County. They stretch all the way from around SRS in western Barnwell County all the way to the west side and east side of Bamberg as well. Olar, you've been getting hit with storms, and these are about to hit Earhart next, so heads up for y'all. Gusty winds and a lot of lightning. This storm is stretching from Johnson Crossroads towards Trenton, just south of downtown Edgefield. Once again, producing some lightning, some heavy rain, maybe some gusty winds, but not necessarily severe. This storm in just on the east side of Louisville and Wadley in Jefferson County that borders Burke County, this storm is likely producing some 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and we've really seen an uptick in the lightning activity recently over the last couple of scans. And this is going to continue through this evening into tonight. These heavy downpours could definitely cause some isolated flooding issues. We'll have much more on the forecast in about 10 minutes.
Riley, thanks very much. We do have some somber news today for the city of Augusta and the larger Augusta community. Longtime Augusta Utilities Director Tom Wiedmeyer has died. There's a private funeral now, a mass set for Saturday at St. Mary on the Hill Catholic Church. The graveside service follows at 3:30 in the afternoon at Westover Memorial Park. That service will be open to the public. Wiedmeyer served the city for more than 2 decades. He served as our utilities director since 2009. A third of all confirmed cases of coronavirus are coming from just 3 states, California, Texas, and Florida. Johns Hopkins University recording nearly 1,500 COVID-related deaths in the U.S. just yesterday. More than 166,000 Americans have died from the virus.
Looking at cases across...
Doctors Hospital reporting 1 new case and 3 fewer inpatients. To the Charlie Norwood VA is reporting only 6 new cases. Breonna Taylor's family speaking out today on the 5-month anniversary of her death. The attorneys met with Louisville's mayor as well as the city attorney yesterday, and that follows Wednesday's meeting with Kentucky's Attorney General, who spoke with them for the first time. Taylor, an EMT, was shot a number of times as police executed a no-knock search warrant at her apartment. Nationally known civil rights attorney Benjamin Crump calling the meeting with the mayor positive, but says he needs to see change.
People are still waiting after 150 days for these officers to be arrested and charged. They're still waiting after 150 days for these officers to be terminated.
There's still a lot to be done, and I expect the city to step up. It's time. We're tired.
Taylor's family attorneys are hopeful charges will be filed against those officers involved in the killing in the coming days.
And radio stations honoring Breonna Taylor today by pausing their broadcasts at 2 p.m. This marked 5 months since the death of Taylor. A Louisville station coordinated the event, which featured one of Taylor's favorite songs, Everything by Mary J. Blige. There was a tribute to other female victims of police violence, accompanied by sounds from Louisville protests. 50 stations were said to have participated. And some quick thinking, officers in Arizona saved a man pinned underneath his car. Officers Josh Gardner and Nolan Martineau rushed to a home to find Devin Haycock pinned. His wife Kaylin pointed to a jack that had failed. One officer and a neighbor tried to lift the nearly 3,000-pound vehicle. They were able to lift it just enough for the other officer to pull Haycock from underneath. He says the officers got there just in time.
I could have a bunch of little breaths. I couldn't really take deep breaths whatsoever. When I heard, okay, we're going to lift it up, that's when my vision started to go blurred. I was starting to pass out.
Scary situation there. Haycock and his wife are expecting a baby soon. He says he's happy he'll be able to raise his child. However, the car still needs work, but Haycock says he will take it to a shop.
Yeah, really a close call there. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris talking about this.
And a heads up, millions of fake Facebook accounts are sending friend requests to random strangers in an attempt to steal information.
Maybe you've accepted a friend request from a fake account without even knowing it. Jamie Tucker takes a closer look at how these scams work.
Call it stranger danger on your friends list. Scroll through those Facebook friends and you're almost guaranteed to see someone there you don't know in real life. It may be time to defriend them. You're opening your life to Facebook friends, even those you don't know and who don't even exist. Unless you tighten up the privacy on your posts, most people don't, Facebook friends see when you're out of town. You're showing them what your kids look like, maybe where they go to school. You wouldn't walk up to a stranger and share that information. If you don't know them in real life, you don't even know if they're real people. A few months back, I got this Facebook friend request from a Lacey Andrews. The profile photo looked suspicious, and she had posted hardly anything personal. When I did a reverse image search of her profile pic, I discovered it had been taken from a website. Whoever was behind this Facebook account wanted access to my posts, photos, information, and friends, which they would have gotten if I'd accepted the request. They would also have likely sent friend requests to every one of my friends list. And my friends might have accepted because they would have seen that I was a mutual friend. That's how these scams spread so fast. No one likes fake friends in real life, and they can be dangerous on Facebook. So before you blindly accept someone's friend request, take a look at their profile picture, their timeline, who their friends are, and if it looks suspicious and you don't know them in real life, you probably don't want to be their friend on Facebook. That's What the Tech. I'm Jamie Tucker.
Some good advice there. The number of fake Facebook accounts is growing. Last year, Facebook said it shut down 5.4 billion fake accounts.
So many fake accounts. And Facebook wants you to report fake accounts when you see them. But guys, if she's gorgeous and she has 5 friends and she wants to be your friend, there's the delete button right there.
Deny it. Just
Boom.
deny it.
Deny it, please.
Stay away.
For all of us. A nurse in Lebanon called a hero after her quick response saves the lives of twin babies caught in that huge explosion. And video of the rescue is going viral.
And we have stayed dry so far today here in Augusta, but we have rain to our north, east, south, and west. So don't give up on the forecast just yet. We'll have more on that radar update in your weekend coming up.
More than a week after that deadly explosion shook Beirut, a NICU nurse describes how she saved 3 babies from the rubble of a hospital and then ran 3 miles with them in her arms.
Molly Hunter shares how the heroic act was captured in images that have now gone viral.
More than a week after the heart of Beirut was shattered, Pamela Zaynoun takes us back to the day her world blew up. New video inside Beirut's St. George's Hospital shows the moment of the blast. Pamela, a NICU nurse, was at her desk.
And I heard something very loud. The ground started shaking underneath me, and everything came crumbling down.
She crawled out.
Where is my baby? Where are the babies? I couldn't see them because all the babies were covered with rubble. So I grabbed them, I disconnected them, and I held them well and went through this door outside.
Alongside a doctor, she ran 3 miles through the devastation to find a working hospital.
People started coming to me asking me, how can we help you? I told them, please, just give me t-shirts, anything you could take off and give it to me so I could wrap the babies up so they don't lose their temperature.
And when she got there, there was only 1 incubator left.
They were all okay, they were all breathing, they were all asleep at that moment. So I felt a moment of peace when I had them back in this incubator.
2 of the babies Pamela saved were triplets, Sadra and Ali. Their sister Zahra discharged last week. Their mother says they feared the worst. She found the only way to express this kind of thanks.
There is also a third baby named Noah who also survived. The death toll is nearly 200 with more than 6,000 people injured. What a quick response from that nurse, especially after not being able to see so well.
Amazing reaction to think they had to unhook those babies. You know, in a NICU, they're all, hooked up to all kinds of devices. She went through quite a bit to save those babies. Just an amazing story.
To weather now as we take a look over Wheeler Road. Riley, we're sounding like a broken record. It's hot and humid, and the rain is just not going away.
And it continues out there again for us, Zana. We hit the mid-90s again this afternoon, continuing our hot streak for August. And this morning, mid-70s. Pretty muggy start out the door, and not expecting much difference out there to wake up to tomorrow or through the weekend either. A little bit better coverage of storms now this afternoon. We've been dry most of the day here in Augusta, but we are starting to see better storms develop to our south and even to our north as well. Let's take a closer look at these storms through Barnwell and Bamberg County. This is affecting the far reaches of the Savannah River site in Barnwell and stretching towards Klein and even Olar, Earhart. You're starting to get hit. This is going to be heading towards Allendale next, so heads up Allendale. That storm's producing some gusty winds and a lot of lightning. In Louisville, or just on the east side of Louisville, going now into Burke County, we're tracking a good little storm. That's also producing possibly up to 40-mile-per-hour gusts and a good bit of cloud-to-ground lightning. Through Hancock County into Washington County, a little bit more sporadic development. But this storm right here now dropping south of downtown Edgefield towards places like Murphy's Estates. This is what we're actually looking at on our Grovetown camera. So here's the structure of it. You can see that towering cumulus, and the storm was producing some heavy rain and some lightning, but it is showing signs of weakening over the last couple scans that have come in. We're currently at 94 after hitting that high of 95 earlier today. Still feeling like the low 100s, but I think some rain relief is in store for us here in Augusta. It may just wait until a little bit later this evening and to tonight. This is jumping ahead to around midnight tonight. You can see we still have pretty good coverage of showers and storms. So tonight's going to be a little bit different than most nights. Most of our activity this week has died off around sunset. We are expecting these showers and storms to continue even after midnight tonight. But we should be dry by sunrise Friday. You can see that low-level cloud cover, maybe some patchy fog, so watch out for that on your morning commute. Anytime after the lunch hour, it's just going to be more of the same, folks. Unfortunately, the broken record will continue. Scattered on and off showers and storms expected through around Friday, around midnight. For the weekend, Sunday is looking like the better of the 2 days. Slightly lower storm chances for your Sunday afternoon, but overall, expect at least a few hit or miss storms most days over the next 7.
Thanks, Riley. Well, one officer at the right place at the right time, rushing to save a man from an oncoming train. The rescue caught on video.
Doug Collins repeatedly joined.
NASA says they finally received a signal back from the moon. It is the first time a laser beam NASA sent out to the moon bounced right back. Scientists launching the light at a book-sized reflector. Think about that. Book-sized. About 240,000 miles away from the Earth.
It sits on a spacecraft that's in the moon's orbit, and NASA aims a beam of light at the reflector. Then they time it to see how long it takes to return. Scientists are hoping that receiving this signal could help in the study of the universe's physics.
Wow.
It's going to be interesting to see that data come out.
Good shot.
Check this out. A Ferrari that sold for more than $3 million now holds the record for the most expensive car ever sold online. The bidding kept going up until the last minute for this sandy white 1966 Ferrari 275 GTB.
Yeah, it is beautiful. The bidding ended at a breaking record of $3.8 million. The car has its original interior, a lot of the original paint. The company said Ferraris took home the top 5 sales at its online auction. But you know what? When it gets to be $3.8 million, do you ever want to take it on the road, or are you just going to stick that one in the garage?
Ooh, I don't know. If you spend so much money, it has to be seen. That's all I have to say.
Reminds me of a James Bond movie right there. Love it. Okay, switching gears to a shocking rescue caught on video showing the frantic moments of a man almost getting hit by an oncoming train. This California officer rushes to rescue a man in a wheelchair. He was stuck right there on the tracks.
Luckily, an officer was patrolling the area and saw what was happening, quickly rushing to get him to safety. Unfortunately, one of the man's legs was clipped by the train, but he is expected to be okay. This is just insane video because you can see he's laying right there as that train just comes through.
Unbelievable. These people who rush into trouble instead of away from it, you know, they really are heroes. Amazing rescue there. Riley?
We are keeping a close eye on a tropical low that could become our 11th named storm of the year. Giving you an update on the tropics coming up.
Message.
Like and follow News 1226 on Facebook for the latest up-to-date coverage near you.
You're looking at a traffic accident in North Augusta. A motorcycle was involved in an accident in front of the Papa John's on Edgefield Road. Right now, we don't know of any injuries, but you can expect some extra traffic. Only one lane is open in both directions at this time. Riley?
Tropical storm Josephine did form earlier today, and it is expected to continue to strengthen over the next 24 hours, but likely going to become a depression by early next week. Not expected to hit the U.S. mainland, so we'll continue to monitor, but as of right now, no threat to us. We do have high storm chances through this evening and even into the overnight hours, so don't think the storm's over with after sunset. High storm chances through Saturday, then a little bit less by Sunday.
Thanks a lot, Riley. We're back for News 12 at 6 o'clock in 3 minutes. See you then.